All right, we're live. What's up, guys? Blake Jamieson here with another amazing guest tonight. Honestly, this is probably, I think, the most excited I've been about having someone on the stream. There we go. I love that, man.
Like that one.
Gooden 16, like that.
Yeah,
the branding too. It's kind of like it's so iconic, man. Like people see that silhouette, they know it's you. It's kind of like the Jordan brand.
That's a good thing, man. My son started this, several years back. We talked about it. It was a good idea, and it's really taken off. So
it's awesome.
Appreciate everything.
Awesome. Yeah. So for those of you guys tuning in, I know people are just starting to come in already in the comments. We're joined by Doc Gooden, aka Dr. K. Very excited. It's also the same card. I have my Doc Gooden card is up on Tops right now. If you guys haven't gotten it, go check it out. But we're gonna have some fun tonight. We're gonna chat. If you guys have questions in the comments, you're welcome to type them in. I have gotten a couple that people have sent me in advance.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Dwight, I'm so happy. So happy you're here, man.
Oh, definitely. Thanks for having me, man. It's always good chatting. Always good chatting with the fans. They always supported me, not only on the field, but off the field as well. And now with the cards, we're having fun and just kind of reminiscing a little bit.
Yeah.
Having fun with it. I think it was a great idea that you guys came up with, and we're just loving it.
Yeah, man. I'm really curious about, did you know about Project 2020 from the jump? Was there a specific card that you first saw and were like, oh, cool, what's going on over here? Like, what's that like?
I didn't know from the jump. My son told me what was going on when it came out, and all the cards, they have their own identity. I can relate to them in certain things, and these artists are just amazing with the touch they add to it. It's just something different. It's not like your regular baseball card. Each one has their own little twist to it, and I love it. It's fun for me too, and I get to share it with my kids and my grandkids.
Yeah.
And me, I'm a fan of baseball, and not to be biased, but I love my cards also.
Of course.
I like the difference.
You got to, man. You got to.
Yes, sir.
That's great, man. I love it. And I've seen you've done a lot of cool autographs. I know we've talked about getting that going once the card's done selling on Tops. That last one with Daryl was awesome. Keep short. One of the questions actually that someone asked is please tell Doc to release more of those because fire, man.
Well,
really.
Yeah, tell my son he's the man in charge of it.
Yeah.
But we probably could. I mean, they all, like I said, they all have their own little twists. They all look different.
Yeah,
that is a cool card. Right now, it'd be hard for me to say which one's my favorite.
Yeah,
I like them all because they all look different. But that was a cool card, though. It had a little different twist to it.
Yeah, it's fun, seeing you and Daryl was awesome. And then the opportunity for that dual auto is so cool. And then I think you did dual autos with FDOT, right? Where you guys both signed it.
Yeah, we both signed it, and that's pretty cool too. When you get to sound artists, it's fun for me. Starting a relationship with different artists from a different field other than just baseball. So I like that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I love FDOT's work too. FDOT actually, he's local here in New York. He's in Brooklyn. I'm in Queens. And so he came over to my studio a couple weeks ago. We collaborated on a painting of Babe Ruth. And, actually, for those of you guys watching on the stream tonight, we just released our second print. It's on blake.art. Tess, maybe you can throw the link down in the comments.
Pretty cool, man.
Cool, man. The project is bringing artists together. I hadn't been familiar with FDOT's work before the project, and now we're like homies, which is great. It allows me to connect with legends like yourself, which is amazing. So it's a lot of fun, man.
Oh, definitely. That's what it's all about. You got to have fun, especially now. It's been a tough time, and trying to find joy through all this and bring joy to other people's home as well. And that's what it's all about. And you guys are doing that. I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's fun, man. And I'm lucky as an artist, getting something like the Tops Project 2020 during these times, which are so kind of uncertain and crazy with everything that's going on in the world, to have a project to work on and know that I have work through the end of the year is it's priceless as an artist. It's awesome.
Oh, definitely. You deserve it, man. I totally get it because right now you're trying to find things to do. Like sports is back now, thank God. But 3-4 months before that, it's how can I occupy my time? What can I do to fill that void and find things? And so when this came out, I was telling my son it was perfect timing. And then meeting all you guys, man, just added icing to the cake, bro.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. And you're in Jersey, is that right?
Yes, I'm in Jersey. I'm in Piscataway. I'm getting ready to go back to Long Island next month. New York is my place. I always say I was born in Florida and raised in New York.
Yeah.
I'll be back in Long Island here in another month or so.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I actually I spent a lot of time, almost 10 years, living in Sarasota, Florida.
Oh, is that right?
My dad and I would drive up to Tampa we would used to go to Tampa Bay Mutiny soccer games. You know, that was a lot of fun.
I'm from Tampa, but we lived in St. Petersburg for a while also.
Oh, cool. Yeah, St. Pete.
Dog track right there.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, Florida's cool. It's definitely a different vibe than New York, but it's awesome, man. I enjoy that as well. And now my parents live in California, so I try and get back there as often as I can to see them. It's been too long, but I'm hoping to get back there soon.
Oh, definitely, man. Yeah, family, especially parents, you only have one mom and one dad. You have to take advantage of that time while you can.
Absolutely, man. And I know, like, you had a close relationship with your dad over baseball. It seems like that was really the dream that you guys shared was amazing. That's got to be cool, man. I'm wondering, like, I know, I think like it was becoming like, baseball being your thing. I know that was partially because of your dad, but what was like the moment when you kind of like decided like, this is what I'm made for, Man,
that's a great question, because as a kid, especially a boy, you want to follow your dad. Every time he hits, you're behind him. My dad coached like Little League baseball, my pro baseball, he coached softball. So even before I was old enough to throw the ball, I would go to his practice games, and his team, they would roll me the ball until I got up age to catch the ball. And so, like you said, I think at the beginning it was my dad's dream that I make it, because I was the youngest son for 10 years. And then it actually became my dream once I got to high school. I had a shot. I always thought I was pretty good, like until I was 13. Then I went to the bigger field. Then things kind of even out with the other kids.
Yeah.
And I was just an average kid. And then my junior year in high school, that's when I took off again.
Yeah.
So I started coming around. That's when I figured I had a chance. I really started putting extra work. My dad always told me, what separates the players who are really has a passion and who really wants it is when you don't have practice and you don't have games, what are you doing to make yourself, better? Once he told me that, I started putting in extra work. And that's when I started getting better and having a passion for it. Watching games on TV, listening to games on the radio with my dad. And a lot of times he would quiz me, like, what would you throw here if you was pitching? Why would you throw this here? And basically it was teaching me, but I thought he was just asking me questions. And as I got older, I figured out. But the best feeling I had with my father was in '84, going to spring training to Mets as a non-roster player, then making a team. And at the time, living in Tampa, and we had spring training in St. Petersburg, during that moment with my dad that, hey, I made the club. I'm going to be, in the big leagues. And I was 19 at the time.
Yeah.
The look on his face, that just made it all that much better.
Yeah, man. I bet, man. And 19, man, you took him by storm.
Man, that was crazy. And
wild.
And thank you to Davey Johnson, because he was the manager. And the previous year, I pitched for him in AAA. And I pitched well. We won the AAA World Series. And he said, well, he managed the following year with him. Joyce Bramberger resigned in November. Davey Johnson got the job. The rest was history. If Davey don't get the job, I don't make it, because the front office thought I should go back to double or AAA because of my age. They know you're going to be on the team. I'm going to fight for you. Don't worry about what they say. You're going to be on the team. And it just turned that way. And, he took a lot of he had a lot of pride, a lot of confidence in me.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And I know, like, before you came up, the Mets had kind of had some tough years. And you really, changed the game for the, Mets fans, I think is awesome, man. And you have big shoes to fill. Tom Seaver, who sadly passed away today, is horrible. I would love to get into, if you have any stories. I know there's photos of you and Tom, but before that, maybe just a second, everyone on the stream, we could do a quick moment of silence for Tom. And then we can get into that and keep it going. Is that cool?
Yep.
All right, let's do it. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Yeah, man, life is a precious gift. It's he had a hell of a career as well. Yeah, so I know that, like, you guys didn't overlap in terms of, being on the roster, but was he, a mentor to you, or do you see him around? Like, what was
Tom,
it like?
Back then, the Mets had the old timers come around, game, and just talking to Tom was great, man. It was an honor to me, because I always was a student of the game, always a fan of the game since I was a kid. And Tom Seaver and Nolan Ryan, those are my two guys.
Yeah.
And have an opportunity to just talk to him and just talk baseball. He really had a passion for baseball. He loved the game, and he just took a liking to me. And every time he came around, he said, let's talk. He goes, what are you working on today? I said, well, I'm not. Yeah, but it's still something you can work on. You always can learn. And he talked about, when you get your bullpen work in, the side work, get the time in, because they say throw, always have a purpose. And when you're on the field, always have a purpose. When you're pitching, always have a purpose. And understand that wearing a big league uniform is a privilege, because there's so many other kids, it was their dream as well. And we got the opportunity to wear a uniform. And he just was a friend. I saw him a lot in Cooperstown. I do every year for the inductions, and we do the autographs weekend. Always find time to find Tom, and we just talk. And he can remember certain situations, certain games, like he had just finished pitching. But other than just a great baseball pitcher that we know he was a great person, and he always asks how the family, how's your kids, how am I doing health-wise and everything else. And he just really cared. I mean, he's just a tremendous guy. And he used to always joke with me that he always said, if we played together with his knowledge and my talent, who knows how many games we would have won. And the funny thing about it was I didn't know until Davey Johnson was managing the Nationals and was talking behind the screen. And he said, Tom Seaver left off the roster so you can make the team that year. So I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, when they had their meeting, him, Frank Cashin, in the front office, they talked about different things. And he said, let's leave Tom off the roster. Nobody's going to claim him. But he said he knew somebody would claim Tom because he still could pitch. But Davey, because I played for him the previous year, was just trying to open a spot for me to be on the team, because I only had played 2 years. I was a non-roster player at the time. So when I came to spring training, obviously Tom was with the White Sox at the time. And Davey already had in his mind I was going to make the team. But that's how I made the team. He intentionally left Seaver off the roster. So that's a spot for me.
Wow, man.
I didn't know at that time because that was just added more pressure.
Yeah, of course, man. That's crazy. Well, you'll be missed, man. That's awesome. What do you think? Like, what's your favorite baseball moment? And then the next question I'm curious about is like, what's your favorite non-baseball moment? Wow. And it could be during or post career.
Yeah, I got you. My favorite baseball moment from a personal standpoint will probably be the no-hitter. Only because, like we talked about earlier, my dad taught me the game of baseball. Yep. That was my hero. And, that day I pitched the no-hitter, I was supposed to go home to be with him. Yeah. On dialysis for 15 years. He was getting ready to have open heart surgery. I had my plane ticket to go home. And that morning, when I woke up, I said, you know what? He'll probably want me to pitch. Right. So I called Joe Torre, who was the manager of the team at the time, to pitch. He goes, no, just go home, be with your dad, take as much time you need. When you're ready, you come back. Right. I'll see you guys tonight, and I'm not going home. I'm coming to pitch. And the next call was to my mom, which she made me feel guilty. Said, no, your dad is expecting to see you. All the family's here. He's bored, so you have to take the flight. You have to come here. I said, Mom, unfortunately, I'm not taking the flight. I think Dad was going to be pitched. And I actually ended up hanging up on my mom, which is something you don't do, but I had to because I was feeling real bad about the situation. And that night, obviously, it turned out to be a no-hitter. But the thing about it, the first 3 innings, I was just thinking about my dad. I was standing in the tunnel between the dugout and the clubhouse, wondering if I made the right decision or not. I remember the 6th inning, looking at the scoreboard to see who Seattle had to come up to bat. You see no runs, no hits, no errors. So at that time, your heart started beating on faster. I was able to put my dad's situation aside and concentrate on the game and pitch a no-hitter. Then my team carried me off the field. I can only reminisce about the previous year being out of baseball, doing it back in New York, doing it in all the history. Then wondering if my dad's going to be okay. I fly home. The doctor said he had the surgery. They don't know if he's going to make it, but he did see the game. Or he never made it home. He ended up passing away. But the last game he saw me pitch was a no-hitter. So that much special.
Yeah, man. Of course. I mean, a no-hitter so rare. That's amazing. It's a great game. Great game to see.
Yes, and you thought if I was going to throw a no-hitter, it would happen early in my career with the Mets, during the 80s. Yeah. 96 was that much special. And plus, that year, I started off 0-3, and I used to get benched. And when a pitcher gets benched, that means you don't get in the game. If you're up 10 or you're down 10, you're not getting in. Right. Fortunately, my good friend David Cohen had an aneurysm in his arm, and he won a DL, and that's how I got back into the rotation. And my third start back into the rotation was a no-hitter.
Wow.
And I guess you said my worst.
No, best memory, but outside of baseball.
Other best memory outside.
Yeah. We're focusing on the good stuff, man.
Gotcha. I hear you. I like that.
Yeah.
My other best memory, if I can go memory, I'd probably say having my kids, man. Or my first grandkid. Now I'm a great grandfather. Just found that out a couple of days ago, so I'm not even 60 yet. But it's all good, man. So I'd probably say the other memories outside of baseball were probably I would say, yeah, having my kids, man, having my kids around, having a relationship with my kids, probably most importantly, because I got 7 kids, and at a time when things was tough, I could have easily lost those relationships, but the kids always hung by me, they always believed in me, and now we're closer than ever. So that's the most important thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, so we have someone on the stream, James Eugenia. He said, Doc, my best friend Rob passed away on Saturday. He's a big Mets fan. Can you please give Rob a shout out that I could play tomorrow at the wake? Is that something you'd be down to do?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Awesome.
Yeah, I guess want me to do it now?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, Rob, how you doing? This is Doc Gooden. Unfortunately, I get the chance to meet you, but my career, I couldn't have had the career that I had without fans like you and others. So I appreciate you. I know you touched a lot of lives. I wish you rest in peace, my brother.
Perfect, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. I know that James will too.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. About spending time with your kids. I think that's so important, man. It's like time is priceless, man. You can't put any number on that.
Oh, that's what it's all about, man. Because
right.
like now, with both my parents going, you got to cherish every moment with your kids and your grandkids, because life is so fast, life is so precious, and you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring, and you have to cherish that. You don't want to look back and say what you could have did or what you should have did. You have the opportunity to do it today, and nobody's perfect, but you just try to take advantage of every situation and cherish every moment that you can.
Absolutely, man. And it's awesome to see, Dwight Jr. Seems very involved in the Gooden brand.
Yeah.
I've talked to him several times, and he's helped with coordinating, like chatting with Tony and I about the autos and stuff. So that's really cool. I think when you can work with your son. My dad, actually, who's on the stream, he's also helping me out. He's a computer programmer.
Okay.
And just built my website for my new kind of art site where I'm selling all my prints and autographs and things.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, this is it's the first time too for me that I've been able to work very closely with my dad, and it's awesome because before this project 2020, I'm on the East Coast, he's on the West Coast, try to catch up with my parents as often as I can, but now we're talking almost every day, which is awesome. And they also tune into the streams. My mom, dad, sister, the whole gang is always there. So it's really fun that,
oh, definitely. That's what it's all about, man. Working with family, spending time with family, you guys having fun. And that's what it's all about, because first of all, you gotta have somebody you trust, and you trust your family, and you're building something together that goes from, from me to my son, and then to his kids, and it just goes on and on and stays in the family.
Right.
And that's what it's all about,
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's awesome. Let's see. I gotta order some of that Doc Gooden that swag too. I'm gonna get some hats and shirts.
I can't take the credit. My son, he comes up with all the styles.
Yeah,
I think they look
gorgeous, man.
You get the swag from me though.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I plan to, man. I plan to. Yeah, that's awesome. So I have. I want to show. Okay, I'm going to show a little bit of the Topps 2020 kind of process.
Okay.
So for anybody, I think that everyone on the stream is familiar with everything, the project and whatever, but just in case there's anyone that's not, this is the reference card of Doc's rookie card that Topps put out. And I think it's so cool, man. And I know I'm not the only one that thinks this, because I see it online all the time, but you can just see it in your eyes. I feel like you're just, young gun, ready to take on the league. You're not afraid of anything.
No, I think a lot of it goes back to my upbringing and my dad, man. He always taught me, and one thing that was very important he told me was, when you're pitching, because by being a big fan, I grew up in Tampa in the late 60s and the 70s. The Cincinnati Reds had spring training there. So I was a big Reds machine. I was a big Reds fan as well. So he always said, when you're facing those guys, you're there for a reason, just like them. You belong. Don't pay attention to the names on the back of the jersey. And I guess what he meant by that, if I paid attention that it was actually Pete Rose in the box, the fan would have came out instead of, trying to,
yeah, competitor or whatever.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So that was great advice. And plus, my dad had me when I was a kid. I played softball with the grown men, even though it's a totally different league, totally different, talent. But the idea that you're a kid, you're 10, 11 years old when you're playing against adults. I think that helped with the maturity level a little bit from a mental standpoint.
Of course.
To make me better when I was being in the league at 19 years old.
Yeah, of course. I mean, man, that's young and hard to imagine, man. But you definitely didn't let your age hold you back, man. It was,
I just went for it. And my dad, the only thing I regret before he passed away was to find out where did he get his knowledge from, because he was so far ahead of the game at that time with the training he did for myself and my nephew.
Right.
Gary Sheffield, to get to the point I was. And then one other thing was, once I made it, he had a great relationship with Mel Stoudemire, where between starts, after starts, I would talk to my dad, and then him and Mel would talk about things that we worked on before. They kind of worked together, where it could have easily been Mel could have told him, I'm the pitching coach, step aside, or vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
Together well, and it made my job a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. Awesome, man. Yeah. So that's the reference card that I started with. Now it's funny because this is actually, there have been a couple cards that I painted where I've done two different versions at the same time, and then I'll let fans choose which one should I send to Topps. So I did two different Ricky Hendersons, kind of with different colors, and then I let the fans here on the stream say, okay, which one should I submit? With you, I actually did it in a totally different way, which I think is cool. And so I started out, I did the first one, and this one's just the portrait. It doesn't have the background, but this was kind of let's see, I got to get it in frame.
Oh yeah.
So this was the first pass.
Cool.
And I think it was cool. And I did this probably a month or two ago. And I kind of sat with it for a while. And I don't know, just I like it as art. I think it's cool. But I still felt like, doing justice to this beautiful card, I wanted to take another pass at it. And so I did. And I did this one next. And this one, again, doesn't have the background, just has the portrait.
Yeah.
I think I simplified it a little, and I tried to take out kind of some of, make a more youthful face, because I think that part of that cool card is you're so confident and also clearly so young. I liked this, but it still wasn't quite there. So I did it the third time, and I kind of tried to split the difference. And so I came up with this one, which is the one that got printed on the top.
Got it right there. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, so I think it was pretty fun, man. It was a very fun one to work on. And then honestly, what I did at the end, after I had those three, is we have, I'd say, a Doc Gooden super fan, one of your biggest fans. He goes by Those Back Pages. His name's Eric. He's actually here in the chat every night. He's like a moderator. He's basically on my team, helps me run the business.
Right.
Oh yes, this is actually
that's some nice work though. I going through it nicely, but you're right. You're a man. You're very talented as well.
Thank you, man. So I actually let Eric pick which one to submit to Topps, because I knew that the card meant so much to him. So Matt just handed me this. So this is Eric on his baseball card that he made of himself, and on the card he's holding your card.
Wow, I see that.
Which is signed, and it says to Eric, Doc Gooden. So and that's cool. So it's he's that big of a fan that he was holding this in his own baseball card that he printed.
That's pretty cool stuff. Thanks, Eric.
Yeah, it was awesome. Thank you, Eric.
There you go. All right, buddy.
Yeah, it's rad. And he's such a good dude too. He's also close by. He came by the studio a couple weeks ago, and hung out. Amazingly, super nice guy, very knowledgeable in the baseball world. Anyways, he's awesome. So Eric is also the guy to thank for choosing. I'm glad that he went with the one that he did, because personally it was my favorite. But Eric has been so hyped for this card since it's getting ready to launch that I had to give him the keys to the castle. So it all worked out. It's super
cool.
awesome.
I like that. Let's next year when things get back to normal, let's the three of us get together and go to a game or something.
Man, Eric, you heard it here first, buddy.
Let's definitely do that. For real.
Yeah, that would be awesome, man. I would love that too. And also, when things are back to normal or whenever you're comfortable, you're welcome. I'd love to have you by the studio sometime.
Sure.
We could. If you want to paint, we could paint something together. Paint something for your kids if you want. You could bring your kids, bring your grandkids, whatever you want.
That's very kind. I'll bring them. I don't know about painting. I'll leave that up to you, man.
Everyone says that, and then they show up, and next thing I know, they got them throwing paint around. But it's like an adult playground over here. It's so much fun.
I appreciate
it, man. Yeah, of course. Let's see here. So what? Trying to think. Are there any, I'm not sure if you're following any artists specifically on Project 2020, but is there any artist that hasn't painted you yet that you're really looking forward to their take?
I didn't know much about it until I got into the Project 2020. My son knows more now. And now I'm trying to study you guys. And
yeah, of course.
Backtrack, and I like it. It's interesting. If somebody working with me or doing stuff for me, about them, how they got started. So they've all been
Yeah.
pretty, you know.
That's awesome, man. So there's this one guy. Let's see. Gregory Siff hasn't done Doc yet, has he?
I don't think so.
Yeah. So one of my good friends, artists of the project, Gregory Siff, his work's amazing. He's still got you coming up. And then another one I think specifically I'm looking forward for your card is Naturel. He does these like graphic design where everything is made with triangles. The whole painting kind of is all just triangles, and I just think I'm really drawn to his art. So those are definitely a couple to look out for.
Okay.
Which I think are going to be dope. Let's see here. What else? What is how old are your grandkids?
My grandkids, my youngest is 1, my oldest is 16.
Okay.
Grandson is actually older than my 2 younger kids.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but it's all
That's
good.
awesome. Yeah. How old are your 2 youngest?
My 2 youngest is 10 and 15. I was married twice.
Okay. Cool.
My kid is 10. My oldest son is 34.
Right on. Any of the kids or grandkids baseball inclined?
Oh, definitely. My grandson, Caden, he's the one. He has the passion that I had when I was a kid.
Yeah.
He wants to play all the time. He wants to practice before their practice. He wants to practice after the games. I mean, he just don't get enough. And so a lot of times when a kid has that passion, just from my own experience, he has a chance. I mean, a legitimate chance if he keeps that passion. Because unfortunately now with kids, there's a lot of distractions out there.
So much to do, man.
One thing. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. He's way advanced than I was at that age. Just watching the things he does. And my 16-year-old grandson, he has a talent as well. It's just that you just got to get the passion for it. You know, and it's got to come first. That's all. My youngest son he thinks baseball is boring. I don't think he's looking at the paychecks when he says that.
Yeah.
But it's all good. You know, whatever sport they want to play out, I support them. The main thing is education, obviously.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely. I
would say, and my dad can confirm in the chat, but like I think at a very young age, my dad thought I was going to play baseball. I guess I had like good hand-eye coordination. I could hit anything as like a kid, as a young enough kid where like most kids don't have the coordination to hit the ball. I was hitting it up. Right. But I played T-ball and then I played baseball a little bit, but it was like all the standing around. I didn't have the patience for it.
See, that's the thing, man. Not to cut you off, but I'd be telling like a lot of the Lily coaches, I feel like, in just my opinion, but I think every inning they should have switched the kids in different positions. Keep moving around because, as you just said, like if you're in the outfield, the ball's not coming. You're throwing up grass, looking in the stands, you lose interest. Yeah. I would always say Little League, it should be a rule where every inning a guy got to play a different position.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think I just I don't know. I got impatient and I went and started playing soccer and then lacrosse. But
I get it.
Yeah, just running around is fun for me. I got a couple good questions from a few comments.
Okay.
This one is from Frank Murphy, and it is, how did your curveball get the nickname Lord Charles?
Thanks. How you doing, buddy? I appreciate that. Actually, we have the shirt for it.
Yeah.
If you can see that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. My son has it. But it actually came from an announcer. If you guys remember WWR Channel 9 with Tim McCarver and Rav Connor. And some game I was throwing it and my curveball was really working that particular day. I think I had 60 scraps against the Giants. And he just said, that's Lord Charles right there. And Tim McCarver came in with it. I never got the opportunity to ask him where did he get it from. But the fans just caught on to it and everybody's calling through it through the media and everything. And I love it. It's a great name. And then my son came up with the shirt. So we have the Lord Charles t-shirt as well now with the same grip on my curveball with me holding the ball with a t-shirt.
Yeah. I love that. That's awesome.
Cool stuff. Definitely.
Another couple questions. These are good ones. This is from Andre M. One of them is who's the toughest hitter you've ever faced?
Toughest hitter I ever faced was Chili Davis. Chili is one of those guys where, most guys that laid off my high fastball, they gave me trouble. Chili, when he was with the San Francisco Giants, I was with the Mets, obviously. I had trouble with Chili. I mean, if I had my good stuff that night, he may get 2 hits. If I didn't have my good stuff, he may hit a couple of home runs. And I remember throwing at Chili intentionally, trying to intimidate him, knock him down, but it didn't work. And then later in my career, I went to Cleveland, 98, 99, and he was with the Yankees. Same thing. He just had my number. Couldn't get him out. He was just tough. Like I say, he was one of those guys that didn't swing at my high fastball. He made me get the ball down, and he did damage. So Chili did about far. Yeah.
All right. Right on. The other one kind of ties into it, and it might also be Chili, but it's what was your most difficult out?
Most difficult out. Yeah. I think it kind of goes with outs. Like one of my weaknesses that I had, what I felt like the only weakness I had was holding runners on base. Like I had a high leg kick, and guys would still base on me a lot, especially like the Cardinals back in the day in the '80s when they had like Vince Coleman, Willie McGee, Ozzie Smith, those guys. So I guess to answer that question, the toughest out probably Chile. I guess you got to say with Chile. Chile was tough, man. I'll say Chile, and then when those guys got on base, man, playing on artificial turf back in the day, they don't really have it much now. It was tough, keeping guys still in bases.
Yeah. So I remember one that somebody asked earlier. I saw on Twitter. Did it feel more satisfying when you were getting a strike to get just blow a fastball, 100+ mile an hour fastball by someone, or fool them with a curveball?
Great question. Well, it kind of work hand in hand. My favorite, I guess, setup was if I got a guy 0-2, no balls, 2 strikes. I was going to throw a high fastball, let her high, with a little extra on it. If he didn't swing at it, I knew I had him because I was going to throw the hard curveball because I only had 2 pitches. So I just changed speeds with my curveball and my fastball. But if he didn't swing the high fastball, I knew I could throw the hard curveball, started on the same plane as let her high.
Yeah.
Catch look is going to drop because he's going to recognize fastball, even though it's the curveball. And so I got so many call strike threes looking with the curveball. So that was like my favorite go-to pitch. But probably power hitters, like the big guy, like say like a Jack Clark, Mike Schmidt, Andre Dawson, Dale Murphy, those guys. It was more of an ego thing to blow those guys away with a high fastball. I did get it. I love that. That was great. But it was an ego thing. But a lot of times catching a guy looking at the third strike on a curveball, that was pretty fun too.
Yeah, that's awesome. Roman has a good question. Who is your favorite catcher?
Favorite catcher, Gary Carter, by far. And a quick story about Gary. In '96, when I pitched a no-hitter, Girardi was my catcher at the time. And I remember after the game, we sitting at the press conference, and Girardi's sitting right there with me. And some guy from the media goes, "Who's your favorite catcher?" I said, "Well, I guess Girardi, because I've never thrown a no-hitter before." The next day, who do I get a call from? Gary Carter.
Yeah.
So we laughed about it, but Gary, saying, I thought I was your best catcher. At the time, I had to say Girardi. I mean, the guy's sitting right there. Girardi was great. I was very fortunate to throw some great catches, but Carter was the guy by far.
Yeah, that's awesome. And this is a relevant follow-up from Jason Miller. He says, who's the best pitcher that you ever hit against?
Nolan Ryan.
Nice.
Nolan Ryan by far, because I remember, and I think the first time I faced Nolan might have been '85. And he was pitching, and like I say, Nolan was one of my idols, him and Tom Seaver. And obviously Nolan was known for throwing pretty hard. So I wouldn't say, when I got in the box, I want to take a pitch just to see what it looked like. And I remember he took a fastball, and I'm like, wow. Then my first thought was, if this ball come at me, I'm done. I'm dead.
Yeah.
So I was the most scary guy. I always wanted to be a hitter. But standing against Nolan wasn't any fun at all. But it actually, in reality, it helps me become a better pitcher. And what I mean by that, because seeing Nolan's fastball and how tough that was to see, not only to hit, it gave me more confidence to throw my fastball. Not saying I threw as hard as Nolan, but I knew I was close. This guy's throwing that hard, and guys don't have a chance. If I could throw my fastball and locate it, I'd probably have just as good a chance of getting guys out as well. So technically, by watching him throw when I was in the batter's box, helped me become a better pitcher and trust my fastball as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. What about your favorite stadium to pitch in outside of Shea?
Dodger Stadium. Dodger Stadium. I love Dodger Stadium. Especially my prime. It's just something about Dodger Stadium where the way that the stands was behind the home plate, it made the mound seem a lot closer than what it was.
Okay.
Having it like that, I was able to put the ball where I wanted, for its location. And plus, at nighttime, they always had the fog coming in, and so the ball didn't travel as much at night. I was a fly ball pitcher pretty much. Right. So Dodger Stadium, I had a lot of success there, and that was my favorite outside of Shea.
Yeah, that's awesome. Let's see here. You got some more, Matt? Perfect. Thanks. Matt's feeding me questions, which is great. This is a great question. Which pitchers, if any, do you like watching now?
Now? Wow. So many. I'm a little biased. It's easy to say Jacob DeGrom.
Yeah. Someone asked about him specifically too, yeah.
Oh, definitely. Jake's a good friend of mine, and watching him, the way he takes them out, and the main thing I like about Jake is obviously the last 2 years, this team just don't score him runs. But he still goes out there every day and battles. And you never see any expression on his face. And if you watch him in the dugout, if the bullpen gave up the lead or whatever, he doesn't change. Now, how is he? in the clubhouse or once he gets home, I have no idea. But it's just amazing to see a guy can keep the same demeanor.
Yeah.
Team not scoring any runs for him. But
Yeah.
I'll pick up number one, Matt Scherzer. I love watching. He
Yeah.
reminds me of one of the throwback pitchers like in the 80s. I mean, he's
Mhm.
still coming at guys. He's still going deep in the games where now pitchers are going 5-6 innings, but
Right.
Scherzer's going deep in the game, 8-9 innings. So
Right.
I love watching him as well. Verlander, I love Verlander. He's great. He's pitching well. He's like an old time guy as well. So he's good. And then we have the young guy that just got called up for Cleveland, Tristan. He's good. I'm sorry, Tristan McKenzie. Sorry, Tristan, I messed up your name, but Tristan McKenzie just got called up with the Indians, and he's from New York, a Brooklyn kid that went to school down in West Palm. And I'm following him now and watched his debut against I forget who he was, but he's tried like 10 batters. I mean, this guy reminds me a lot of myself. Real thin, lanky, curveball, Lord Charles.
Yeah, that's awesome.
A bit of work, he's right there. So I'm looking forward to meeting him one day also. But I love, like I said, I'm a fan of the game. I love the 2-1 ball games. I love great pitching. But I would say those guys, Verlander, McKenzie, Rome, Scherzer. Those are my top guys right now.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. How about non-pitchers? Anyone whose arm impresses you?
Non-pitchers, arm impressing me. I think probably if I had Bryce Harper, I would say. I love Bryce Harper. I think he has a great arm for an outfield. And I love the way he plays the game. I know he catches a lot of heat, but I met him at the All-Star game a couple years ago when they played in New York. I love Bryce Harper. He's one of my favorites, non-pitchers. So I'd probably say him, Mookie Betts, one of my favorites as well. So if I had to pick, I'll say those two guys. Top of my
head. That's awesome. I love it. What about this one's from Dan Baumfield. Favorite story with Daryl?
Favorite story with Daryl? Wow. We had so many.
Yeah.
My favorite was probably was in Chicago. And see, Daryl, to me, he had more talent than anybody ever seen. When Daryl wanted to play, it was nobody better. I mean, he could steal a base, had a strong arm, hit for power, hit for average. But Daryl would actually get him going. Was in Chicago and was having breakfast. It was me, Daryl, Keith, and Ron Darling. And I was reading the paper, and I saw Sutcliffe. I was pitching that day against Sutcliffe. So I said, Daryl, you're not going to believe what Sutcliffe said. He said, what did he say? I said, he's not worried about you. He's worried about Carter. He's worried about Keith. He's worried about Hernandez. He said, what do you mean? He said, he's not worried about Strawberry. So I said, okay. He said, we'll wait until the day. Home runs, but I knew that would get him going. So my way, every probably fifth start I have, I'll make something up about what a pitcher said about Daryl, which they made it up, and I knew that particular day he was going to hit a home run, if not two.
Yeah, getting fired up.
Yeah, he definitely fired up. If he wanted to play, it was nobody better.
Yeah, that's awesome. Dan Curtis, I see in the comments, favorite moment at Yankee Stadium? Oh, probably the no-hitter, right?
Oh, most definitely. From a personal standpoint, the no-hitter, from a team standpoint, was winning the World Series.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it. What else we got, Maddie?
All right. Heavy J asked if you remember the pitcher's duel you had against Fernando Venezuela in 1985, which was almost exactly 35 years ago to the day.
Wow, that's amazing. That's the one where we both pitched 9 shutout innings, right?
Absolutely. Yes, it was.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. The thing about Fernando was when I faced him, we would get hits off of each other. Like I couldn't get him out, he couldn't get me out, but we dominated our opposing teams.
Right.
We had battles, man. And this guy was amazing. And the thing I most loved about facing him was I remember in 81, I think it was, when he came up, I was a junior in high school. I used to watch him pitch. It was like the Fernando Mania or something they should call it. And he won Rookie of the Year and Cy Young the same year. And just watching him as a junior in high school. And now, fast forward 3 years later, or 4 years later in 85, we were facing each other. And all I can remember is facing him or watching him when I was in high school. And now we're battling each other. But, I mean, we'll pitch like a 2-hitter against each other, 9 innings, and we get no decisions. I'll be the one got the 2 hits off him. He'll be the one got 2 hits off me.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Oh, definitely.
That's wild.
Battle.
Tony Schreck asked, who's the best trash talker?
On the best.
I don't know if he means on on your team or on opposing teams, but I'd say either. Yeah, I guess opposing team, sure.
Opposing team, trash talker.
I mean, imagine when you guys were rowdy. Like people got to be talking trash to you guys.
Well, it's crazy. And the team we had in '86, man, we talked a lot of trash. We had a lot of confidence, but probably I would say Lenny Dykstra. Once he went to the Phillies, Lenny was one of those guys that if he's on your team, you love him, but if you're playing against him, you hate him.
Mm-hmm.
But he's still one of my best friends. We played together in the minors. We came up when we was like 18 years old together. But Lenny could talk some smack. But but in '86, I would probably say in our clubhouse, probably Kevin Mitchell. We just had fun. But I would say opposing guy, probably Dykstra when he went to the Phillies.
Yeah, right on. Let's see here. Another pitching question from Mike Roble. Could you tell from a batter's body language if you should pitch him inside or outside?
Oh, most definitely. I learned that from Gary Carter a lot. A lot of times, Gary was such a student of the game, and he was definitely missing puzzle once he joined our team in '85. Because as a catcher, you're dealing with 5 pitchers, so you're dealing with 5 different personalities. Mm-hmm. So for me, Gary always wanted me to pitch like if it was winning 10-0, he only pitch like 1-0. But some guys, so like Jack Clark, he would change his stance with 2 strikes a lot of times, or Mike Schmidt. Found out, Gary would tell me if he got his legs spread a little wide, he's looking all speed. If he's closed, if he's spread a little wide, he's looking fastball. If he got his feet a little closer, he's looking breaking ball. So sometimes from the pitch around, you can notice that. Sometimes you can't. So just say if Gary put down fastball, but I'm thinking curve, and then I shake it off a curveball, he'll put down like fastball, but he'll put down like hard. That means he sees something. And then after the inning, he'll talk about it and say what he's seen and what he didn't. But as I got more experience and time around the league, I started picking up things like that too. In certain spots, a hitter would change the stand, sometimes get closer to the plate, off the plate. I mean, they're looking for a certain pitch or location.
Awesome, man. I thought of one that's just a personal question that I love to ask everyone. What's your favorite book?
Favorite book?
Yeah.
The Bible.
The Bible. Okay. I like that.
Should I read it more than I do, but I'm starting to get into it now, and I try to make it a purpose that as soon as I get up, that's what I do.
That's awesome, man. Mine is The Alchemist. Have you ever read that?
No.
Oh man, it's a beautiful story. It's a great. I mean, it's a phenomenal book. A lot of good life lessons in it too. Very like quick, easy read. Great for kids and adults. It's awesome. Highly recommend it.
Definitely check that out for sure.
I guess when we're in that, what about a favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Oh wow.
Or movies, you can pick any.
I know, but I probably shouldn't say this. The problems I had, but my favorite movie of all time was excuse me. See, I probably shouldn't have said that.
It's all right.
But Scarface.
Yeah, it's classic.
Yep.
That's awesome. Yeah, I like. I'm usually more of a comedy guy, and actually, I like animated movies.
I like action and comedy.
Yeah,
personally.
Action and comedy. That's cool.
But Al Pacino's
awesome, man. Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. What else we got, Maddie?
What do you think of Shohei Ohtani?
What do you think of Shohei Ohtani?
Amazing. I got to meet him 2 years ago at the writers' dinner. Amazing guy. And when he came into the league, he was actually the guy that I want to be. I want to be the first guy that actually get the hit and pitch.
Yeah.
Because I really want to be a hitter, but obviously pitching was my ticket. And then to see him.
Oh man, your batting average was solid for a pitcher, though.
Yeah, for a pitcher, it was okay. Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But watching what he did and totally dominate like that from both sides was amazing. Because initially I said, there's probably no way this guy can do both. Just the wear and tear it takes and the toll that it takes pitching, and then they say your body's sore and you're trying to hit. So I like to see him get healthy again and get back to 100%. And I think he can do it because he definitely got the stuff. As a pitcher and as a hitter.
Yeah, absolutely. Are there and I don't know, it might actually overlap with asking guys you're following right now, but is there anyone that's playing right now that reminds you a lot of yourself?
Playing right now. I think as a rookie, I'll say McKenzie. Just from the size. I came in the league, I was real thin. I had a lot of confidence, and it seemed like he has that. He has confidence in himself. It's good fastball, good curveball. Still learning how to pitch. He's not afraid. So I'll probably say him from a rookie. From, I guess, an older guy or mature guy. Probably, wow. I'll probably say Scherzer in a sense. Only reason I say Scherzer is because when I took the ball, I wanted to complete the game, and it seemed like when he takes the ball, whether he has good stuff or bad stuff, he wants to complete the game in that same
Right.
sense.
Right. I mean, I would too. I want to see it to completion for sure.
Oh, definitely, most definitely. I don't like the pitch count stuff they do now.
Yeah. All right. This is another interesting one. It says, do you think Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire should get into the Hall of Fame?
Wow, that's a great question. See, me personally, and a lot of former teammates, a lot of players probably don't like this, but for me, I think they both deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Steroids or not, I mean, it just was that era, and still, I mean, you still got to hit the ball. I mean, and those guys, they didn't need help. McGwire hit 49 his first year. Yeah, as a rookie. Yeah. So by doing that, I mean, I don't know. I never took it, but I hear it gives you more confidence, and you what is it? I guess if it's sore, whatever, it helps you heal quicker or whatever. I don't know. But
right. Recovery time, probably.
Recovery time. That's it. That's the word I was looking for. Recovery time. Yes. Yeah. But those guys are amazing. And the year Bonds had in 2001, I mean, that's amazing. He had 73 home runs with 200 walks. Yeah. So steroids or no steroids, I mean, you still got to do it. And just because you take steroids, that doesn't mean you don't put those type of stats. Right. That's just my opinion, and that's just what I feel. Yeah. I know a lot of guys say, "Oh, they cheated; they shouldn't be in." But during that time, you don't know who was cheating and who wasn't. Right. Right. Yeah, totally. I mean, I'm totally with you. And by the way, so I grew up, I was born in 85. And so I grew up with season tickets to the A's with my dad. And so like, I grew up idolizing Mark McGwire. He was my childhood hero. And like, you know, I got to paint him in the project as well. And we connected through the project, which was really cool, which is so awesome. And like, he's such a great dude. And he was so fun to watch play. Both in Oakland and also in St. Louis. So I'm totally in the same boat with you on that. Yeah, and that's like the year with him and Sox when he hit all the home runs. To me, I mean, that was right to the strike. Those guys basically, to a certain degree, they was the Larry Bird and Magic Johnson of basketball. They really saved baseball. You know, with Sosa and McGwire going at it with the home runs. I mean, that was brought baseball back after the strike that we had in 94, 95. Yeah, right on. Here's another good one. Do you have a favorite personal baseball card of yours, like that whether you're on it or not? You know, my favorite card that I had was funny. It was a black and white card when I first got drafted. Because again, I was a huge baseball fan. I collected cards when I was a kid. That's awesome. In 1982, when I got drafted, I went to Kingsport, Tennessee, and they had these black and white cards made of us. And to me, when I got that card, I had made it. I was in the big leagues. You know, I was already. I could retire. I was good to go. But that's probably my all-time favorite one. Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's got to be such a cool feeling. I mean, I guess it's a different thing, but like when I saw my first card in hand that like I had painted, which was actually a Nolan Ryan card, like that was like I'm like I made it. I created a baseball card for Topps. Like this is huge for an artist. You know, there's so many artists that are insanely talented that don't get some of the opportunities that I've gotten, and I try not to take that for granted. Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely, that's good though. Your work is amazing. I know when I see it, and my son showed me some of the stuff that you've been doing. I appreciate that. That's crazy. I appreciate that. Speaking of your baseball card collection, do you still have it? Because that would be awesome. I have some of it now. I know my son, he's starting a collection. Like my mom, before she passed away, she had one of the bedrooms that she turned into a homeless shrine. Nice. And I have a lot of stuff in boxes now. They just got to get out and see what's in those boxes, see what's left. Yeah, man. You got to go dig through. I mean, I bet there's some awesome stuff in there. Oh, definitely. Yeah, my dad and I collected cards together pretty much from 1985 to 1995. We have every single card that was printed across all like the primary sets. And I remember my dad always used to tell my mom, like, you know, she'd be like, "Oh, great, you bought more baseball cards." And he'd be like, "No, this is going to pay for Blake's college." And that was kind of the era where, you know, they were overprinted and, you know, so probably. It's amazing the cards now, how I think at one time it was down, but now they come back. Oh yeah, there's a big, huge now, especially with you guys that taking part now. You know, adding a little twist to it. I think it's amazing. I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, it's super fun, and it's gotten me back into it. I mean, as you can see behind me, like I'm a collector at heart, and although I fell out of collecting baseball cards for a very long time, now that I'm involved in this project, I'm back in it 100%. And everyone too, like in the community, collector community, is so friendly. Like they hear my story that I collected and have stopped for a while. Like they're sending me cards to help me catch up. You know, they hear Mark McGwire is my, you know, childhood hero. They're sending me Mark McGwire cards. So cool, man. People are so friendly, and I'm glad to see sports cards getting back, gaining popularity. And almost definitely during all the COVID, I think that it's brought a lot of, you know, fathers or not just fathers, like
parents and kids like together, because it's a fun thing. Like if the parents grew up collecting cards and now, maybe Project 2020 brings them back in and now they can share that with their kids and get them excited. I think that's going to be good for the hobby long term.
Well, I definitely agree. I think the timing was perfect, like you just said, with everything that's going on with the COVID, and to have it come in now was a perfect time. And then again, not to blow smoke, but you guys are doing such a great job. Just a fun project for everyone.
Yeah, awesome. Matt, are these all new?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. This is a good one. Did you have interest in art or artists before the Project 2020? Are you an art guy at all, or was it kind of through this project that brought you into it?
Always liked it. Like I run across different artists that I run across different paintings. Like you see, like an 8x10 photo.
Mm-hmm.
The artists that did like Leroy Neiman.
Mm-hmm.
One of my guys, back in the day, and original stuff.
His work's awesome.
Oh, definitely. And I got a lot of his stuff, of me, of course, and then some of Nolan Ryan I have as well. I always liked his stuff, and he was a big. I was a big fan of his, I should say.
Yeah, that's awesome. Someone else asked, Amazing Hall of Fame asked, what advice do you have for Pete Alonso, being so young, thrust into the spotlight, and being the face of the franchise, much like you were?
I think number one, just have fun. Still have fun. Don't try to put any added pressure yourself, or let the media or any expectations take that away. Because of the year you had last year, he had 53 home runs. That could be a career year. You don't know that. And what I mean by that was like, normally you have your career year like your 5th or 6th year, but from my experience, I had my career year my 2nd year as well. And then you're always trying to reach those expectations. The media set expectations, team set expectations, the fans set expectations. You set expectations on yourself. Then you forget about having fun. And what was your goal when you first got there? And so if you can remember, still have fun and understand that each at bat matters, you're doing each at bat at a time, and not try to match the numbers you had the year before. And I never reach that again. Just go out and just take every game if it's your last game. And like I've been saying so many times, and people probably get tired of me saying it, and understanding playing the big leagues is a privilege. And cherish the moments because your career goes so fast.
Absolutely, man. I think that's great advice.
Have success again.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, got another one from Frank Murphy, who asked one of the early questions, and he showed me. So he is a very talented author. He writes children's books, and he came here to the studio. He lives a couple hours away, and came here and he brought some cards, and we were showing each other cards. And one of them was a card of yours that you had signed, and you wrote on it, "I struck those motherfuckers out." Yeah, and I'm curious. Like, is that something? Was that like a random time that you did? You them cards like this?
Yeah, a good friend of mine, this guy, Steve Costello, he's working at Brandon Sports, and he came by trying to get cards signed. He wanted to do something different. I'm glad my mom's not here to see that. She'd have killed me writing something like that. I wasn't raised that way, but he asked me to do a couple of cards, and he tricked me. He goes, "Write this on a card." I said, "Man, I don't feel comfortable doing it." He said, "Just do this for me. I'm just keeping it for myself. Nobody's going to see it." I guess he sold the cards and everybody's seen it. And after that, I've been asked to do it again, but I just did it at one time. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. Well, that's cool, man. Well, Frank, you heard it here first. You got a little piece of history there. Don't tell Doc's mom though.
No, no former players, anybody I faced. It was just something the guy asked me to do. That's all.
Yeah. All right. Donnie B asked, any memorable moments from your time with the Indians or Astros?
Oh, well, Astros for sure. A lot of people don't know I played with Astros, and I had so many firsts with the Astros. My first big league start was against the Astros. My first All-Star game start was in Houston. Minute Maid Park, it was called at that time. When they got the new ballpark, we moved out of the Dome. I pitched the first game there, exhibition game against the Yankees. So I opened up that stadium, actually. So those are my memories. I say, pitching for those guys. Cleveland was great. Unfortunately, I think Cleveland had the best offensive team I ever played on, ever. I was at the end of my career, and I have nothing. And Cleveland, first time ever, I got kicked out of a game in the first inning. After facing 2 batters in a playoff game against Boston in '99.
For what? For throwing at him or what?
No, it was what happened was I threw who was it? Darren Lewis was the leadoff batter. First pitch right down the middle. The guy called it a ball. Second pitch right down the middle, he called it a ball. So I kind of looked in, he took his mask off. I didn't say anything. Nomar Garcia-Parra hit a ball off the wall. So I'm backing up home plate. Ron scores. And I'm walking back to the mound, but I don't look at the umpire. And I'm like, get in the fucking game. But I don't look at him.
Yeah.
And, Hirschbeck, the first base umpire, come to the mound. He goes, "Doctor, you have to leave." I said, "Why?" He said, "He tossed you." And at that time, I just lost it. I probably threw him out of the game for saying that. But I didn't throw him up because I never even looked at him. I just, the fans and nobody knew what I said, but just me and him.
Right.
I got tossed first inning of a playoff game.
Yeah.
Damn. That was kind of what sticks out is my Indians.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. We got a question from Donna, and I will be honest, I don't know what this stuff means. It says, what do you think about sabermetrics and advanced stats?
I think some of it's okay, but a lot of it's overkill from a pitcher standpoint. A lot of times, a lot of the scouting reports can be overkill. Pitchers, you're taught to attack, but a lot of times look at all the ways you're supposed to pitch a guy. The scouting reports, it makes you get defensively. And I would say, like, for instance, like in 2015, the Mets Royals World Series, you had Harvey, Syndergaard, DeGrom, all these guys throwing 97, 98. They said in the scouting reports, Royals are a great fastball hitting team. That don't mean you can't throw your fastball first pitch. That means just locate it. So these guys start off curveball, ball one, changeup, ball two. Now everybody in the stadium knows what's coming, so these guys can cheat it, so it worked against them. And I think it cost him in that. And if you're throwing 97, 98, it doesn't matter who's batting. If you locate your fastball, if they hit it, they're not going to do much with it the majority of the time because as it is, you could fail 7 times and still be a 300 hitter and you're considered a great hitter. So if you're throwing 97, 98 and you locate it, it's going to work to your advantage. And the other thing is now they got the pitchers pitching, if you throw 100 pitches, they take you out of the game. It's a big difference throwing 100 pitches in 3 innings or 100 pitches in 7 innings. If you're throwing 100 pitches in 7 innings, you're still pitching pretty good. But everything's looking at the scoreboard now and everything's changing so much. I don't like that. I think it's taking away of the game. I don't blame the pitchers. I blame the organization. That's the way they're doing it. And so I'm a fan of some of it, but I think some of it just overkill, especially from a pitcher standpoint.
Right on. Yep. Someone asked, so are you following the NBA playoffs?
Hey, Blake, we got to kind of round it up a little bit, Blake.
No problem, man. We'll do 3 more questions and call it a night.
All right.
Yeah. You following the NBA playoffs at all?
Oh, yeah. I love sports, man. And basketball, football, baseball are my 3 favorites. And unfortunately, I'm a Knicks fan.
Yeah.
And it's been tough for the last, 20 years.
Yeah.
So I'm following it. I'm pulling for LeBron, actually. I'm a big LeBron fan. Not only the way he plays the game, but I like the stuff he does off the court as well.
Yeah. Got more on there?
Sure. Yeah.
We'll do 2 more and then call it.
Sure.
Okay. Thoughts on changes to the game like smaller ballparks and lower mounds?
Wow, man. I think now everything, and I might be a little biased because I was a pitcher, but it's like now everything favors the hitters. Like the parks are already smaller, all the new ballparks, and the ones who had size, they're bringing the fences in. Like Citi Field was a perfect pitcher's ballpark, but they brought the fence in maybe 3 times. And now the hitters, they wall the pads. You can't pitch inside. I don't like that. Lowering the mound, I don't agree with that. I think the mounds are fine and the way they are because some mounds are lower than others anyway. And I know when I was playing, Wrigley Field was low. The old County Stadium in Milwaukee was low. Like at Minnesota in the Dome, it was low. So it's like I think it depends on your pitching staff how the mounds were most of the time.
All right, final question. This is a Game 7 of World Series scenario. You're the starting pitcher for the Mets. Which pitcher do you want to face and beat?
I'm the starting pitcher for the Mets.
Yeah. So if you're dueling with, I guess, any other team, past or present, who would you want to beat in the Game 7 of World Series? And we'll finish that one.
Wow. I would just say probably. I don't know if you guys remember Floyd Yeomans. He pitched a little bit. He was actually in the Gary Carter trade. He was drafted by the Mets. I would probably say him because he's a friend of mine and we played Little League in high school together.
Oh, that's awesome.
Just for bragging rights.
Yeah.
I'd like to go up against him.
I love it, man. That's great, man. Well, hey, thank you so much, seriously, for your time today.
Thank you, Doc.
Yes, sir. All right.
People were loving it in the comments. I'm very excited to get these cards in hand. Everyone else, will stay tuned. We're going to be doing the dual autograph cards. And then, like I said, man, open invitation here in the studio. And when the ballparks open up again, I would love to catch a game with you.
Sure. Most definitely. Thanks for having me, man. You keep up the good work.
Of course.
Happy to talk to you, man. I look forward to seeing you.
Absolutely, man. Likewise. Have a great night, man. Stay safe.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Take it easy. Bye. All right, guys. Well, that was awesome. Thank you guys all for the amazing questions. Honestly, that really helped keep everything going, which I appreciate very much. Eric, how about that, man? That was a pretty dope offer. So hopefully we can make that happen. So just a tiny bit of house cleaning before I sign off for the night. We're right at the 1 hour mark, which is great. The prints with FDOT are live, and they are on my new website, which is blake.art, which is built by my dad, which is awesome. He's been working really hard on the sites for months now, honestly. And we've been really working together more recently to get the site really to a place where it's ready to rock. And we're finally there, which is amazing. And so there is on the website, there's a gallery tab. Gallery means for sale. Under that, there's collabs. I have the link down below. There are 25 collab prints with FDOT, just like we did last time on the first print. Going to do dual autos again on paper. Those ones are $350. I think we've sold a couple of them, but we still have, at least before the stream. I don't know. I haven't checked it since the stream, but I think we have some of those left. And then we also have prints on canvas, ranging from a small size that starts at $60 up to a large size at $150. That money gets split between FDOT and I, and it helps us continue to live our dreams. So if you're into that, it would be awesome if you get it from the new site, because we're trying to get everyone going there. In the future, with the future autographs, we will be doing those on the new site as well. So I will slowly be phasing everything from pro athlete portraits onto blake.art and eventually just redirecting that website URL altogether to go over to the new site. I think that's pretty much it. I have I have a line out to an artist that I would be very excited to have on this Friday. I don't know for sure if he can do it. Still waiting for a confirmation. The only hint I'm going to give you is he's a Project 2020 artist that I have not had on the stream yet. So that leaves about 15 or 16 options. I don't know exactly how many I've had. So that's awesome. I will keep you guys posted. Tomorrow night is Thursday. I will probably be painting something or cutting a stencil. I'm not sure yet, but I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Love you guys so much.
You mentioned the Ben Baller giveaway again?
Good idea. Ben Baller giveaway.
Yeah.
Ben Baller and I did dual autographs on only 10 of my and his Mike Trout card. He signed it in blue and I signed it in purple. They're numbered 1 through 10 on the back, and we are giving away 4 of them. So almost half we're giving away for free. The way that you can get that is there's no purchase necessary because we don't have a casino license. So if you go to proathleteportraits.com/baller, you fill out the form for free, you get 1 entry. If you buy my Doc Gooden card or you buy Ben Baller's Ted Williams card, you get another entry for every card you purchase. So if you purchase 10 of my cards, you get 10 extra entries, plus everyone gets the free one. So that is that's going to be a giveaway, and it's going to be awesome. So that's going to go. We'll probably run it. We'll leave it open, I guess, till Thursday or Friday, so all the card sales have done, and then we'll pick a winner and probably announce it early next week. Literally, that's like the biggest thing that I've given away ever. These cards, the few that we did sell, the retail was $3,000 each. I know that's a lot of money for a baseball card. I appreciate the people that bought them. But anyways, one of the things that I really wanted to do with Ben and was really pushing for is that I wanted to give like a lot of them away because I think the fans are awesome and people that support my cards are extra awesome. So if you guys do buy the Dwight Gooden card, I very much appreciate it. And if you do, I hope that you take advantage of the offer for the giveaway. Last time I checked, there were like 70 people who have emailed me or had filled out the form, which just puts it into a spreadsheet for me. So it's pretty good odds. I'm giving away 2. Ben is giving away 2. I believe with Ben's, I think he wants you to email the receipt. I just am having everyone just fill out a form. Pretty easy. Yes, cards in the kitchen. A 10-pack is 10 entries. It's actually 11 entries because everyone gets 1 free entry. So I would love to see Dwight have a strong print run. I think it's a really cool card. I'm very happy with it. Regardless what the print run is, I'm very happy. And I'm excited to have talked to Doc tonight. I'm excited to do the dual autos with him, which will be, I'm not sure when those are going to be released. He's been doing quite a bit of like pre-sale stuff. We've kind of been we've been scaling that back where like we put the Willies on sale last week. They arrived this week, and they're starting to ship as soon as tomorrow. So I don't know. We'll see. I still have my Ichiro, my Ted Williams, and my Ken Griffey cards in addition to Doc. So I don't know if I'm going to try and expedite the release on those to get to the Doc or do Doc first. I don't really know yet, to be honest. Last thing is the print runs for the choose your own color. If you didn't see the numbers, I put them on Twitter and they are on the Blake.art website. I'll tell you guys right now, they're really good numbers. Well, good if you bought them. Okay. Brown, an edition of 5. Dark blue, an edition of 3. Dark green, edition of 3. Gray, an edition of 3. Light blue, an edition of 9. Light green, 8. Purple, 2. Teal, 7. White, 4. Yellow, 2. So that's pretty crazy. Everyone that bought those cards, which were $250, you get to choose your own color, got an edition that is less than 10. I know you guys have probably all seen my art auto prices. When I do editions that are smaller than 10, they're always over $250. So congratulations to everyone that bought those. I signed the fronts of those and I numbered the backs of them today. They will ship out tomorrow. I still have to do the certificates of authenticity and I have to custom paint the boxes in each of those 11 colors. So they might actually ship Friday, realistically, just being honest. But they are going to ship soon. Topps is kicking ass. Sorry for the language. For their shipping, I expect to get Ichiro, if not late this week, early next week. And so that's very exciting to continue getting these autos out and getting caught up for Topps from a shipping standpoint is very important. I will be doing choose your own colored autos on the next few cards. It'll be an interesting continued experiment, especially now that I will be, very transparent about. We did it with this. We did it with Willie Mays. Here were the numbers. Obviously, there's who knows. Maybe people see those numbers and then a lot more people buy the next one and they're bigger editions. But still, I think if we do 11 colors again, which by the way, zero people ordered pink, even though I even talked about pink on the stream and I said it looks cool. Whatever. Nobody did it. So there's none of those are even being made at all. Yeah, but maybe people see that and then next time more people buy it. But I still think in general, $250, you're going to get a pretty low edition. Even if those numbers all doubled, those would still, most of them would still be under 10, which is crazy. That's it's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate all of you guys very much. And stay safe, stay healthy, and stay awesome.